achieved so far in the UK. I take a more optimistic approach in terms of what we've been able to do in the UK in terms of driving down emissions and growing the economy at the same time. I think in particular, I think his critique of territorial emissions, the fact that we focus exclusively on those and we don't look at consumption-based emissions, the emissions in the products that we import from abroad, I think that's a very fair criticism. I think we should do much more to measure our consumption-based emissions and indeed to reflect our climate policies in our trade policies as well, to make sure that we're not just offshoring. But I think the evidence so far from the UK is that the vast majority of our emissions reductions have come from the power sector. It's come from the fact that coal, which was about a third of our energy mix in around 2012, is now something like 1 or 2%, and that's been replaced by a lot of natural gas and indeed a massive expansion in renewables, particularly offshore wind. And the UK has the second biggest fleet of offshore wind turbines in the world after China. So that, rather than deindustrialization, has been the main factor in the UK's impressive reduction in emissions. So, I think the other point that I think he was making, that we need to decarbonize in a way that is going to enable and encourage other countries, the ones that have rapidly growing economies, to also decarbonize. The UK has to show that we can grow our economy at the same time as reducing emissions. Otherwise, that is not a positive message that developing countries will want to emulate. So I think, lots of fair points in terms of how we should approach climate, but I think I'm more optimistic about what we've achieved so far in the UK, which I think has been a really good, strong success.